I'm here with Shelby, and Shelby is my badass sister. I'm just gonna talk to Shelby, let her share her story with you guys, and hopefully I cover all the questions you want to answer. But at the end, I'll give you Shelby's contact information if you want to shoot her a holler, ask her some questions, or anything like that. Introduce yourself to everybody.
Hey guys or gals, I'm Shelby and I am a PCOS sister and I'm here to talk to you and let you know my story. So I can't wait to get these questions. Well, I wasn't diagnosed with PCOS until I was about a couple years ago. I was having trouble getting pregnant with my daughter, and but I always knew something was off. I had little to no periods, trouble with my weight, insulin resistance, cholesterol issues. So there was always, looking back, I knew I had it since I was young, but I wasn't officially diagnosed until 2 years ago when I was struggling to get pregnant. So, but that's how I was diagnosed. I was sitting there in a gown, and he's laughing, saying, "Oh, you got a pearl necklace on your ovaries," and I was like, "This isn't funny. I'm half naked on the table. Let's take this seriously." But yeah, 2 years ago is when I got diagnosed.
Yeah. Did you know?
No, I had no idea, and that's, I felt very alone because they talked to me, giving me these 4 letters, and I was like, well, I need a little bit more explanation what this means. So it took a lot of my own research because the doctor that I saw and the 4 doctors that I saw, didn't give me very much information. It seemed as if they didn't have enough information. So I had to be my own health advocate and do my own research to find out basically what the heck was going on with my body. So
there's a lot of people's stories that they go to the doctor, they get these 4 letters, and they're like, okay, the doctor's like, here, but they never really tell you what it is. Same thing happened to me.
It's unfortunate. You have to be your own health advocate. I tell girls all the time, you have to, if you don't get the answers from one doctor, find a different doctor. Mm-hmm. And if that doctor doesn't give you an answer, you find a different one until you find one that actually cares or knows what he's talking about. It took me 4 different doctors to have someone actually be sympathetic, empathetic, and caring about my symptoms instead of just throwing birth control at me and saying, come back when you want to have a baby, or come back, when you're really affected. Like, I'm really affected right now. Take care of me right now. So I just tell girls, you have to be your own health advocate and find a doctor that cares. So
because there's not a lot of information out there and people do have to be their own advocate, it's forcing people to really take a step out and introducing more doors for them. Like for me, once I decided, I'm not going to just sit here and let this happen to me, it made me research more, made me contact people, become a part of group stuff that I would have never did if I didn't have PCOS. What do you think is your biggest struggle with PCOS?
It really depends on what stage of the journey you ask me. If you would have asked me 2.5 years ago, I would be like infertility. That was such a scary and lonely time because I already had as my son, so I didn't feel like I fit in with the girls that are struggling with primary infertility and haven't had a baby yet, because I felt they viewed me like, well, you already have a baby, that should be good enough. And I didn't fit in with my girlfriends that weren't struggling because I was resentful almost because they were popping out babies, Facebook announcements and baby shower announcements. And so I felt lonely there. So it was a big struggle a couple years ago, being especially secondary infertility with PCOS for me. But if you ask me now, it's taking care of my health, staying healthy. One of the biggest struggles for me has been my weight and getting that under control. And, there's such a stigma on anyone that has any weight, especially with all these social media outlets and all these body images that they put out there. It's been hard for me to find my self-confidence when I'm working my butt off. And it's harder for me than, the person next to me without PCOS to feel confident and proud of myself and keep going in the struggle with weight and health issues when the process is slow for girls with PCOS. Yeah. And it sucks, but it's true. So that's my main struggle right now, is just staying healthy in the weight.
Okay. And how do you stay healthy in weight? Like, what's your day-to-day routine?
I just keep it real simple. For me, the biggest thing with my health is I have to stay low carb. I have to stay low carb because carbs, as we know, don't do well for girls with PCOS. It sucks. I miss bread. I miss Papa John's. God, I miss Papa But staying low carb, supplementing with things that, for hair health, biotin, cinnamon, magnesium, certain supplements that help my regimen. And weight training has been a huge game changer for me. I was a cardio queen running 5 or 6 miles a day. I was not losing. And I was like, why am I not losing? And it took me forever to realize going to the big boy side of the gym and lifting weights and lifting heavy is amazing for our metabolism. It's been amazing for breaking plateaus for me, and I was one of those girls that was like, I'm not going over there. I'm not lifting weights. I don't want to get bigger, but I've lost. So that's one of the main things that's helped me is just sticking to weight training, sticking to low carb, and I do avoid dairy. Dairy does cause inflammation for me and a lot of others with PCOS, so it's just helped. Although I miss cheese. I miss everything. Gosh, we can't have anything good, can we? I miss cheese. I miss cheese, Chris.
And you just mentioned strength training. I'm a big advocate for strength training. So when you first started strength training, how did you kind of build the confidence, or what did you do? How did you figure out what to do in the gym?
For me, it was just getting the confidence to go to that side of the gym. And it took for me because I have anxieties bad. I got nervous. I would go at 4 in the morning when I knew no one would be there. I would go at times, and sometimes it's just taking little steps to just get to that side. And I had no idea what I was doing. For me, it took me, technology is amazing. I downloaded the bodybuilding app. It's completely free, and you can follow a program. And it was good for my anxiety because my phone was next to me all the time. I wasn't looking around or caring what I was doing. I focused just on the program in front of me. I did Jamie Eason's Live Fit or something, but it was a 12-week program. And once I started doing that, I kind of just followed along with that and stuck with that for a while. But it's just the point of doing it, putting yourself out there, asking for help. I'm a big advocate of, if you don't know what you're doing, ask for help. Someone will help you because they've been there before too.
And I think what you just said was really good, that a lot of the times you don't really know what you're doing, but just try it and you'll figure it out. When you just talked about your anxiety and that going at 4 was earlier, I'm a mental health counselor. So a lot of the times people figure out how to cope or how to heal themselves without even knowing what they're doing. That's called exposure, guided exposure. So you do a little and then it kind of, okay, this is okay. Let me tiptoe a little bit more. This is okay. So no matter where you are, if you just start, then at some point you'll get further than where you started.
Yeah, it's just taking those little steps to do something that's a little bit scary and then do something a little bit scarier for you, and that's not scary anymore. So.
And that's awesome. And then we just talked about your strength training and what you eat. I'm sure everybody has seen your awesome pictures that are floating around the internet. No, they look good, girl.
Sorry, Mom.
So how was the weight loss for you? How long did it take you to lose? How much have you lost?
In total, my highest weight was about 210, and I'm down 55 pounds total. I mean, right now I'm just in maintaining stage. I've got 5 pounds that go back and forth, but it took, a longer time than I thought, and it took about 9 months to lose it all. The first 3 months I didn't lose anything at all, and that's why I'm such a team advocate of screw the scale, because especially with PCOS, that scale is not a good gauge of, if I would have gone by the scale, I would have quit a long time ago. I advocate taking progress pictures, picking an outfit and judging how it fits you, measuring yourself, because there was a time where I lost 8 inches in 90 days. I lost 8 inches, but I didn't lose more than a pound. So if I would have gone by the scale, I'd probably be face deep in a bowl of Cheez-Its or something right now. So it's just, with PCOS, I found it's patience and forgiving yourself, because it is hard. It's hard to not judge yourself and your progress against someone that doesn't have it, who's losing faster. And that was my struggle for the longest time. I was comparing myself to my 3 sisters who don't have PCOS, and they can lose weight, just by stepping foot in a gym. And I was here going to the gym 5 days a week, working my tail off and not losing a pound. And I just had to stop quitting. I was a habitual quitter. I just had to stop quitting on myself, start trusting myself, and forgiving myself for it taking longer than everyone else. So just be patient, persistent, and when you fall, get back up.
And I think because one of the main reasons why I wanted to really highlight, someone that was being successful each month is I want people who aren't quite there yet to pick things and find out what you did, and not just what you did exactly, but where were your motivations coming from. And what you just said just reminds me that you knew your body was behaving differently from women who didn't have PCOS. So if you didn't understand how PCOS worked, then you wouldn't have been able to stop judging yourself or comparing yourself to others. So I think it's really good that you have that foundation laid for yourself. So
and a lot of it came from hopping on social media. You know, with what I said before, I felt so alone with PCOS, and it took me finding others with it to make me feel like, hey, I'm not going through this alone. They're struggling too. You know, because when I joined social media, I had no idea that there were so many women out there with PCOS. I felt completely alone. I was just looking for one or two girls to talk to, you know, and now I have so many connections and so many friendships and people that I can turn to when I'm falling down or help when they've fallen down. Like, it's so comforting to finally not feel alone and know that when I fall down, someone's going to help me get back up, and I can lend that hand to someone else, because it's hard when you feel alone doing something that's so difficult on its own, you know, to face, and you feel isolated from everyone else. I'm really thankful for the connections I've made through social media.
And that kind of reminds me, the other day I said something on one of my posts like, media attention and social media is taking PCOS out of our bathrooms, and onto our timelines and TV. So it's actually a good segue to your Facebook group, which is how I don't even know how I got to your Facebook group. I think I was just searching and I found you, and it's a really good support system for me whenever I have a question to hop on or experience I want to share. So tell us kind of how you got into the Facebook group thing.
You know, like I said, I actually suffered a miscarriage this past summer, and I was alone, like my lowest point probably ever, you know, and my sister had just had a baby, so she being my best friend, I didn't feel comfortable talking to her because I didn't want to take away anything from her. So I just wanted to find some outlet to talk to someone else that I knew was going through something similar to me, that wasn't my sister or my husband or, you know, someone close to me. I wanted that disconnection, but a connection. So I went online and I found in all these PCOS support groups just not a very uplifting, positive environment. So I met Alex, who's the other admin, one of the other admins of the groups, and we just wanted to create an environment that was positive and women supporting other women, and a place where you could go and not feel alone, not feel judged. You feel uplifted and empowered to face the struggles, you know, because there's so many different types and phases and stages of PCOS. I wanted a place where everyone with PCOS could come, whether you're trying to conceive or whether you don't want children, whether you know, are never struggled with your weight in your life, or you have always struggled every day of your life with weight. You know, I wanted everyone to feel welcome and uplifted, and it's just become this amazing environment. I'm going to cry. Like, I am so proud of all the women in the group. They are inspiring me daily. And it's been a blessing to me. It's been a blessing to, you know, I think everyone involved. And I'm just glad that there is a place on the internet that people can come and not feel alone anymore and not feel like they're segmented, because you're right. I read your article the other day. There are so many different faces of PCOS. You know, there's lean PCOS. There's women that are just diagnosed at 14. There's women that are 60 and dealing with it. You know, there's so many different stages and phases. There's not one definition of PCOS. There's so many. So I'm glad that it's grown into what it is. I'm proud of my little baby.
But I read your blog, and you talk a lot about coming out of your shell and how you're a different woman than what you were before. So kind of tell us how you came out of your shell and what motivated you to do that.
You know, it's been difficult. I suffer from severe anxiety. And it's scary putting yourself out there. It is scary exposing yourself. But, you know, I would put something a little bit open out there, and I would literally shut off my phone and my computer for an hour because I was scared to see what people were saying. And every time for every one negative comment, there was 10 positive ones, or someone saying, this helped me. You telling your story helped me tell mine, or helped me get to the gym, or helped me talk about my miscarriage. So getting that positive reinforcement has inspired me to be more open and honest, because for me, what a void that I saw on social media was so many perfect images, and that's not how life is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, life is messy and hard and real, and I cry, and I mess up and eat pizza. I broke my toe walking down the driveway yesterday. Like, so I legit broke my toe. But I mean, for me, like, yeah, it's girl. I'll show you later, but it's broke, straight up broke. But anyway, being real and honest and open, I've gotten so much feedback of like, thank you for being real, because there's so much fake out there. I want people to know that people are not as perfect as they are on Instagram, okay? No one's life is that real. So that's given me confidence to show myself, to just be an example of someone that doesn't have their shit together. You know, don't base your life and try to obtain these images that you see online, because it's not real. Mm-hmm. It's not real what you see online. So I want to be an image of something that's real and shit togetherness.
And that's so awesome. I can sit on YouTube and watch vlogs like all day. Yeah. And I'm like, why is everybody so perfect? Like, what am I doing wrong?
And it's human nature to want to put your best stuff out there. Mm-hmm. Like, everyone wants to put their best stuff out there, but like, you can't be your best self 100% of the time. And so that's my main thing is like, yeah, there's days where my hair is rocking, like, but there's days where I wear it on top of my head and I slept in and I press the snooze button anytime. Like, no one's as perfect as they're putting themselves out there. Mm-hmm. So I just want to be a voice for that, because no one has all their shit together. Mm-hmm. It's just not possible. Yeah.
So now I kind of want to segue into like relationships. And of course, it has an impact on your relationship. So can you kind of talk to others who kind of need some advice about that?
You know, the main thing I would say is just, if you are newly diagnosed and you have a partner or someone in your family, take them to an appointment with you. Have them sit and read articles. There's a great article that I refer to other people. I'll send you the link and email it. But it's PCOS explained to your partner, or just have them go through it with you. Because if you're doing it alone, it built resentment. And so, because I felt alone before I met all the girls online and grew the social media, I felt alone and I felt resentful because he couldn't understand. So the more he understood and the more my family understood and the more that I talked about it, and they're like, oh gosh, that sucks. Like, oh, the more you can help them understand, because if you're not going through it, you don't understand. And so, the more I held their hand and said, hey, this is what I'm going through, let's talk about it, and not like kept it inside, has been so helpful. My husband understands now, like, this is what you're going through and it sucks, and I'm here for you, So I would just say, be open, be honest, and teach them. As you learn, teach them.
Yeah, that's some awesome advice to kind of, help them go through it with you, instead of just like trying to, hey, here's a textbook, this is what I have figured out. So that's really awesome advice, because if they're going through the journey with you, they're already invested in you. He already picked you. So,
you're stuck.
Yeah, exactly. This is me. So, if you had $1 million, where would you go right now? What would you do?
Girl, if I had $1 million, and this sounds so cheesy, but I have made some of the best friendships I've ever made online. They all live so far away from me. Like my best girlfriend, Renee, she lives in Newfoundland, Canada. Like, I would go visit and meet all these amazing women that I met online, like Lauren, she lives in the UK, or Kim, she lives in Australia. I would go visit all my sisters. I would pack a bag and go meet all these wonderful, amazing, truly inspiring women that I've met. So
that's a really good answer.
I'd go shopping. I'd buy some shoes.
See, now you got my little brain working, and we might try to get on the road, you guys. We might be coming to a city near you.
Yeah, we should start a sister circle, traveling sisters.
Yeah. Is there anything that I left out, or that you want to make sure everyone knows about you or your experience?
Everyone always asks me, like, what is the one piece of advice you would give someone that's newly diagnosed? And my main thing would be, just cry. It's hard at the beginning. Cry for a day. Have your day. Eat your ice cream. And then get back at it. Do your research. Find someone to talk to. Find a support group. Because you are not alone. You are not alone in this. Because if I could tell my 14-year-old self something when I was struggling with cholesterol and insulin resistance and weight and no periods, I would want someone to tell me I'm not alone, and it's okay. So if you need support, find it. If you need help, ask for it. And if you need to cry, cry. But then you get back up, because PCOS sucks, but we do not have to suck. PCOS is a terrible thing, but we do not have to suck. So that's what I would say.
Because positivity is everything. As long as you have a clear outlook and you believe that you can change, then you will change. You can change your situation no matter where you are. So those are some good words. Can you tell us how else people can kind of follow you or keep in contact?
I'm all over the place. You can go to my blog, thesurvivingshelby.com. I'm on Instagram. I'm in the Facebook group. You can find me everywhere. So just find me.
Google me, baby.
I'm up there. Google me, baby.
I really want to thank you for doing this interview, and hopefully we can reach some people out there that we couldn't reach before. That's it. You guys, badass sister.
I think you're awesome, Chris. You keep doing what you're doing. Your blog is amazing, and I'm so proud of you. When I read it every day, I literally just read it, like, your last 2 blog posts. So they're amazing, and what you're doing is awesome. So
thanks. I appreciate it so much.
All right.
Bye.